Hello, in my new video. Today we want to take a look at a team around Dig Galarian Linoone, and this team looks on paper pretty decent, to be honest. We have our Saysop here with the Dragonair. We have our Linoone in the back. Dragonair could get out the counters like Charm users, which only like one is available with the Bryon, and also like I don't know, like something like the Vigoroth gonna get out of here as well, like we got here, because the Vigoroth doesn't really want to face the Golbat in the lead. So like the team looks pretty solid on paper. The Linoone with Dig here going to be able to counter stuff like Haunter, like all the ghost types. And I really thought this team would be really nice in this meta. It turns out I was completely off. This team didn't work at all for me, but I think I can showcase some of those failed attempts as well for once on my channel. Usually I just grab those teams out and don't really showcase them. Stuff like this happens to me, but I think once in a while I can talk a little bit about why it didn't work and how it didn't work and why I'm a little bit annoyed about the current situation. But yeah, let's take a look at this team again. We have the Shadow Golbat and we have the Dragonair and the, like as it says up there. The issue with those are if you can, like if you know your typings, you're double weak to ice typings. In the first day where I played like my team that I showcased prior already, I didn't really face a lot of ice types, especially as I had two counter users. I would have loved to see some more ice types, so I thought I would be pretty fine with this one, and turns out I was completely off with this. I don't know how many Celio leads I've seen, I don't know how many Piloswine leads I've seen. I didn't really want to count them, but they were endless. I think I cut out two battles, to be honest, where I literally just completely got hardwalled from the get-go, where I had literally no chance whatsoever. And I just forfeit after like 20 seconds or anything anyway, because I got just completely walled. So yeah, this is something that happens to everybody, by the way. Everybody has sometimes some bad days, but for me, it's actually rarely the case, to be honest, because usually my teams work out pretty well, I have to say. But in this meta, trying to build a team without Vigoroth or trying to build a team without like the core crazy meta like Haunter, like the Dragon types that I usually run, like the Dragonair is cool. Dragonair is also part of the meta-ish, I would say. And same with like Golbat, but both of them I wouldn't actually say as like top meta. For the Dragon types, Swallows and also the Hakamo are just better than the Dragonair. Main reason for this is just the missing bulk for the Dragonair. Like both of them are way bulkier than Dragonair, which makes them just better. And for the Golbat, Golbat is kinda common, to be honest, but then again, Shadow Golbat is actually pretty horrible against the Vigoroth still. I would have went for a normal version if I had one, to be honest. And it's also not as common as like Vigoroth or the double ghost line in chat yesterday. And all the good stuff like the Celio. Now I've seen Larry nearly in every set so far. It is kinda wild. Yeah, here again it's a little bit more of a common version as a Dragon here with the Swilus, so not the best there, but it's fine. I still won some games, by the way, with this. It's not going to be just only losses in this video. It would be a little bit too lame as well. But yeah, like the theory of this team actually worked out really well, but now let's talk a little bit about why I'm pretty annoyed with it right now. This cup itself is, in my opinion, pretty horrible. Like you either run the top core meta, the top 4 Pokemon, and hope that you RPS away your opponent or you lose. It's kind of simple as this. Of course, there are some stuff that you can do where it helps you a little bit with like building some Pokemon like Celio, which is pretty nice in the current meta as it beats something like the poison types and also the dragon types, or something like Hakamo, which is really bulky, which is really cool. Or you use Chansey, which can hardwall the ghost types, and you have games that take 5 minutes. So, you basically have either super bulky and super expensive Pokemon that you are not going to use in any other cup afterwards anymore, because it's literally only good there because they don't have the evolution ready. For example, like the Hakamo, the Como itself would be basically the same, if not even better than the version here. It's a little bit bulky, I think, this middle part version, but it's literally not a big difference. So building the smaller version seems to be a little bit weird. Let's take a look at this matchup now. We're going to have the Haunter here against us in the lead. Haunter, actually I thought Haunter would go down after one Poison Fang and then the Farm down, and I was wrong. Maybe I should have swapped out earlier than into my Dragon Boy, but I also wasn't sure about this. Now we had 2 shields down, and now it looks pretty horrible. We can go ahead and go for 1 Poison Fang. This is of course my issue, like my problem there. I should have swapped out into my Dragon, I guess, immediately against the Haunter, because Dragon is pretty decent against it, because Haunter doesn't really have a high HP stat. And Dragon Breath is really good, but here, there was nothing I could have done there anyway, because we have a Vigoroth in the back. It will completely destroy my Pokemon in my back as well, so like, doesn't really help me. We see a Dragonor coming in here, and we will be able to go for 1 move prior to them, and they can just farm me down, which is not the ideal scenario here. But we will be able to go back into our Golbat, and we can now avoid the Piloswine with this thing, which is pretty nice. They go for 1 Body Slam, gonna get us low, and they can actually get to another one, which is kinda annoying, to be honest. I will be able to farm them down now and might get to another Poison Fang here against this Pokemon. We can swap out into our own Linoone, but let's see what they have in the back. We of course have to shield the Avalanche. Avalanche is still a Psystrike clone and very strong, and we see a Golbat in the back, and this seems to be pretty impossible again. Very nice. This Booty Slam doesn't really do as much damage, just around 40%. And the normal Golbat, again here also normal Golbat, but a little bit better than the Shadow Golbat. Shadow Golbat would be easily a 2-shot, but like this we cannot even farm him down there. And we have to shield up this move here. We have to try to swap out, get rid of the debuff, and we will be able to go for another charge move here. Charge move come through, and this charge move will get the final shield, I thought, but no, it does actually KO them. We can go for 2 more Body Slams, but a 1 Body Slam will not be enough to knock out the opponent there with their Piloswine. So there's not a lot that I can do here, and we will see that we're gonna go down by 1 Avalanche. And again, this team is not ideal, I guess. It just like, if you don't want to run the core meta, you're kinda screwed. We see another Golbat against us, very decent. For us, we can go straight for a Shadow Ball or go for the Poison Fang bait. I'm just gonna go straight because they're a normal version of the Golbat. They're most likely not going to shield. And they're going to shield, so they might bait us, so we're going to let this move go through. And of course, they're also going for the Shadow Ball. I basically call everything wrong here. It's like how it also sometimes goes, like, it's not all about the team or not all about the meta itself. It's also just being sometimes super unlucky and sometimes not playing perfectly fine. And then it costs you, on some days it just costs you the games, and some days it's still fine. And this is just something that happens a lot of times anyway. And we see in the back here, of course, 1 Vigoroth. What a surprise to see this Pokemon in this meta. So shocked, to be honest. Crazy. We see that they're going to swap out now into their Haunter. Should be a pretty decent matchup for us now, as we can farm this thing down-ish. As we see some lag, we can actually go ahead and farm it all the way down. They actually go now for 1 Ice Punch, and we will be able to actually now win this game, because I guess they lagged. I think we still would have been fine otherwise though. Like, I don't really see how my opponent could have won this still, but it's fine. Again, Celio lead. I have no idea what I'm supposed to do here, because of course every Pokemon dies to Celio. Celio is such a strong Pokemon. If you don't encounter a fighting type user or like Vigoroth in general, Celio will basically beat everything else. So this thing will be the best Pokemon really what you can use other than the Vigoroth, or you can even play them together. But I don't have them, and I'm also not going to build a Celio now. It's 400 Stardust or 400k Stardust for 1, and I don't really want to spend that, to be honest, on a cup that I don't really play. Celio itself is actually kind of interesting. It's a little bit more bulky than the Walrein, just has a little bit more bulk than that thing. And of course, now a little bit more interesting, because Body Slam is still a 35 energy move, while the other move before for the Walrein got a little bit nerfed. But still, Walrein is stronger just because of the secondary move, as Earthquake is clearly better than Aurora Beam or even the Water Pulse there. So basically, it's not really worth it currently to build a Celio anyway, as this thing is not better than the Walrein. We can just go for 1 Body Slam now against this thing here. We will be able to knock it out, and we will be able to also see the opponent's Pokemon there, which is going to be the Haunter. We can go for 1 Dig, and we might be actually able to win this game here, of course, as we can try to go for it. And of course, my opponent swaps perfectly, knows the Dig counts, of course. And now we're going to lose this match, because we also cannot catch the move perfectly correctly there. And we're going to go down here. Like, if you basically have a bad day, you have a really bad day usually. So yeah, we see the next opponent. We're going to see a Swallows in the lead there. Swallows going to have a lot of bulk, so I have to go for one debuffing move here, and I'm just going to swap into my own dragon as we can basically get only neutral damage from the body slam. We're still going to shield here. I don't think we really had to. Oh, it was a Dark Pulse. Never mind. It was a good shield by me. Definitely very intended. Very good past me. As we see that this body slam also gets shielded by the opponent. I'm actually going to go for another move here. And I'm pretty sure I get them pretty low enough. And I think I even get to 2 moves here, which should be enough to get the KO on this thing. And I think I'm really fine here. Let's see if we can go for another body slam. Of course we die on it, because everything goes wrong in this video, it seems like. And there is not a lot that we can do here as well. Yeah, there is literally nothing we can do. The body slam comes through, and we will see that they have a Golbat in the back. And this Golbat will destroy me here. Like, it's a Shadow, so I should be able to two-shot it, but still, we know that they have a Vigoroth in the back, and the Vigoroth are going to do a lot of damage now with the counter damage thanks to the debuff, and it's going to be a good game. Hell yeah, next opponent, please, fast, because I actually gonna stall for one body slam here, but I no bother because I know this game is over. Next opponent we're going to see here will be Golbat vs Celio. It's so much fun, isn't it? I actually go for Linoone Say So. Maybe I get something out of there, which I don't really expect. Going to be a Charger Bug. This is fine. Charger Bug has access, of course, to Exeter, which is super effective. So it's actually not fine, to be honest. It's again kind of a hard counter. But we do at least some damage with our Body Slam, as they can go for another move here. We can shield it up. We can go ahead and go for one more fast move. Go for one Body Slam here. Hopefully get the shield. We actually get the shield. We can go for one more fast move. Get the Body Slam here. Hopefully get the shield, and get the shield, and we can go for another body slam, and get hopefully some nice damage on here. It's not enough, and they don't throw. They go back into the Celio, and because they didn't throw, they still have one Exeter stored. Isn't this amazing? No, it's not. We will see that we can go for one body slam, and we can go back into our Linoone, as we have to go into our Linoone. Our Golbat really doesn't want to face off against the Celio. We will be able to go for one body slam, which should put him actually into range where I can farm him down, I think. This move will, like, at least get him close. Yeah, okay, just gets them very close, to be honest. I can go for another body slam, actually, and KO them already, which is very good. I'm going to swap out immediately, expecting them to go into the Charger Bug trying to snipe me. But they go actually into a Dusclops. Maybe I should have stayed in, maybe I should have went for Dig, maybe I should have just went and get more energy, I'm not sure, but we will see Nice Punch coming through, which is going to do a ton of damage, as we can now go for one Shadow Ball. This Shadow Ball, of course, going to not KO by 1 HP, because this is basically how my day went the entire time, and we will be able to farm down. We have our moves stored, but we of course lose CMP against the Charger Bug. It is amazing here. It's just so nice. I actually kind of want to see real quick on the side how the CMP is between the Charger Bug and the what's it called, the Pokemon that we have in the back. Linoone Galarian version against Charger Bug. How different? It's actually 1 attack point difference between those. Linoone has on the best form 12.2 per attack, while the Charger Bug has 113.3 attack, so there's a 1.1 attack difference between those two in the CMP tie, and of course we lost this, even though I think I don't know if our attack is even that perfect there. But yeah, very, very cool. I love it. It's just, yeah. It just didn't work at all for me this day, and everybody has those days though. Like it's not that anybody plays perfectly every day and only gets positive sets. If this would be the case, we had like someone at 5000 CP already, or like MR already, because they won everything, but this is not how it goes. You're going to have some very tough days as well, as we have a very tough day here in general. But they swap out into the Vigoroth, which allows me to farm them all the way down. They go back into their choke, and I might be able to even win the final game here. Let's see real quick. We will see the Poison Fang coming through. We will get them very low, and we will be able to farm them down here. They can go for one Dynamic Punch to knock us out, but it doesn't matter, as we can go into our Dragonair, and I think this is actually going to be a win for the final game. Thank God this is over. Actually, tomorrow's really going to be way better, though. Tomorrow's team worked way better for me, so stay tuned for this. See you next video. Have a great rest of your day. Bye!